The noise is the first thing, not the clash of metal, not yet. It is the sound of 9,000 men breathing, shuffling, muttering prayers in two languages you do not speak. You are standing on a ridge in the south of England. The morning is cold, October cold, the kind that comes off the channel and settles into your bones before the sun has had a chance to push it back. Around you, the hilltop smells of wet grass and wood smoke, and something underneath that, animal, unwashed, nervous. It is October 14th, 1066, approximately 9 in the morning. Below you, on the slope that runs down to the valley, 20,000 men are about to determine who rules England. You are standing inside the English shield wall, the most important defensive formation in medieval warfare. 5,000 shields, overlapping like fish scales, stretching 400 meters across this ridge. The man to your left is so close you can feel his shoulder against yours. The man to your right is gripping his spear so tightly his knuckles have gone white. Nobody is speaking now. Down the hill, visible through the morning mist, the Norman army begins to move. This battle will last 9 hours. Before it ends, a king will die with an arrow in his face. England will change hands for the last time in its history, and a language, the language you are reading these words in right now, will be permanently, irreversibly altered by what happens here today. How did it come to this?
Let's pause for a second. According to YouTube, over 80% of you haven't subscribed. If you enjoy these stories, please subscribe. Your support genuinely means a lot. Now back to the video.
3 weeks ago, England had one king. His name was Harold Godwinson, and he had been crowned on the same day he buried his predecessor, Edward the Confessor, in January of this year. That kind of speed should tell you something about the anxiety surrounding the throne. Harold had a problem. 2 of them, actually. To the north, the King of Norway, Harald Hardrada, had landed with 300 ships and claimed the English crown for himself. Harold marched north in 9 days, covered nearly 200 miles, and destroyed the Norwegian army at the Battle of Stamford Bridge on September 25th. A stunning victory, the kind that makes men into legends. Then, 3 days later, the second problem landed on the southern coast. William, Duke of Normandy, arrived with approximately 7,000 men, 700 ships, and a letter from the Pope giving him divine approval to take the English throne. He claimed that King Edward had promised it to him. He claimed that Harold himself had once sworn an oath to support that claim. Harold turned his exhausted army around and marched south. He covered 250 miles in 13 days. He is here now. His men are here now. They are tired in a way that cannot be explained. The bone-deep exhaustion of soldiers who have fought one battle, marched 400 miles, and are about to fight another. But the ridge is good. The position is strong. The Normans cannot outflank them without climbing through marsh and woodland. Harold has chosen well. Now, back to where you are standing. The Normans are advancing up the hill. The slope in front of you is approximately 600 meters long. It descends gradually at first, then more steeply toward the valley floor, where the Norman formations are assembling. You can see them clearly now. 3 divisions arranged from left to right across the valley. The infantry on the outside, the cavalry in the center and flanks, and ahead of the infantry, the archers, short bowmen advancing toward the base of the hill in organized, terrifying silence. The English army has almost no archers. Harold had them at Stamford Bridge. He did not wait for replacements. This will matter. The Norman advance begins in earnest at approximately 9 in the morning. The archers loose first, a volley that comes up the hill at a shallow angle and mostly bounces off the top edge of the shield wall or falls short. The English shields are held high.
Are you holding? For now.
Almost nothing gets through. Around you, men shift, adjust, wait. Then the Norman infantry advances up the slope. And now you understand what a shield wall actually means to defend against. The men are coming uphill toward you, which means they are slower, more exposed, breathing harder with every step. The men around you begin to shout. The noise becomes something physical, not sound but pressure. A wall of it rolling down the hill to meet the men climbing up. The first clash of the two lines is brutal and brief. The Normans hit the shield wall and it holds. They push. It holds. The slope is working against them. Gravity, mud, exhaustion, all pulling at the attackers, while the defenders stand, brace, and push back. For approximately 2 hours, the Norman infantry cannot break through. You begin to understand why Harold chose this ridge. A shield wall held by determined men on a good slope is almost unassailable from the front. The Normans know this. And so around midday, something happens that changes the shape of the battle entirely. The Norman left flank breaks. Not the English, the Normans. A section of the Norman line,
Stand! Do not break the line!
believing falsely
Get back
that
to the
William
wall!
himself has been killed, turns and runs down the hill in panic. And the English, or part of the English
Hold the
force,
line! Stand firm!
against orders, against every instinct of a trained shield wall defense, breaks formation and gives chase. This is the moment. The shield wall is the English army's greatest strength. The moment it breaks, in any direction, for any reason, it is no longer a shield wall. It is a group of individuals, and the Norman cavalry knows exactly what to do with individuals. You watch it happen from the ridge. The Englishmen who broke formation to chase the fleeing Normans are now on the open slope below the ridge. The Norman cavalry wheels, and this is the moment you feel in your chest before you understand it with your mind. The thunder of horses on October ground, the way the light catches metal. The Englishmen below are turning, realizing, beginning to run back toward the ridge, but the ground they have to cross is the same ground they just descended, and the horses are faster. The Norman cavalry rides them down on the slope.
Close the wall now!
Harold orders the shield wall to close. It closes, but it is shorter now. There are gaps that weren't there before, and the men filling those gaps are men who just watched their companions die 50 meters away on a hillside they didn't need to be on. The afternoon turns grim in the specific way that battles turn grim when one side begins to understand that it is losing without having lost yet. The Normans probe the shield wall again and again. Cavalry charges that stop short of the line, wheel, and return, testing for weakness. The Norman archers adjust. They are now shooting on a higher arc, up over the shield wall, letting arrows fall vertically onto the heads and necks of men who have been holding their shields forward all day. Somewhere in the English line, around 4 in the afternoon, an arrow falls at a steep angle and strikes King Harold Godwinson above the right eye. The Bayeux Tapestry, stitched in the decades after this battle, shows the moment with unusual specificity. A man clutching an arrow in his face. Above him, the Latin words, Hic Harold Rex interfectus est. Here King Harold is killed. What happens next is almost instantaneous. The English command structure does not survive Harold's death. It was Harold, his personal household troops, his presence on the ridge that held the formation together. When the news moves through the shield wall, and it moves fast, the way catastrophic news always moves faster than any other kind, the wall begins to come apart. Not all at once, not everywhere. Some of Harold's household guard, the Huscarls, the most professional soldiers in England, close around where Harold has fallen, and fight to the end. They will all die here, every one of them. Their names are not recorded. The Norman cavalry breaches the ridge as the sun begins to descend toward the southwestern horizon. By approximately 6 in the evening, 9 hours after the first Norman arrows flew, the Battle of Hastings is over. Harold is dead. His brothers Gyrth and Leofwine are dead. The bulk of the English army is dead, scattered, or running south through the woodland called the Weald. Approximately 6,000 men died on this ridge today, in 9 hours, on a piece of ground approximately 400 meters wide. William of Normandy walks the battlefield after dark, looking for Harold's body among the dead. The body is so badly mutilated that Harold can only be identified, according to some accounts, by his lover, a woman named Edith Swanwick, who is brought to the field and recognizes him by marks that only she would know. The morning of October 15th is quiet in the specific way that a place is quiet after something enormous has happened to it. The ridge is covered in dead. The Norman army begins the work of accounting their own losses, which are significant but not catastrophic, and the English losses, which are. Foraging parties move through the woodland to the south, looking for English stragglers. William orders a halt to pursuit. He has won, but he has not yet been crowned. He will not be crowned for another 2.5 months. William moves west toward London, burning as he goes, not out of cruelty, though cruelty is available to him, but out of strategy. He is starving London into submission, cutting the city off from its food supply, demonstrating to the English nobility that the man who won at Hastings is not going to be reasonable about surrender. On December 25, 1066, Christmas Day, William the Conqueror is crowned King of England in Westminster Abbey. The ceremony goes wrong almost immediately. The Norman guards outside, hearing the shouts of acclamation from inside the church, mistake them for sounds of violence and begin setting fire to the surrounding buildings in a panic. The ceremony finishes with smoke rising outside, and half the congregation having fled the church in fear. Even William's coronation is chaotic, but he is king. England has a new ruler, and the consequences of what happened on this ridge will take centuries to fully unfold. William the Conqueror does not simply take England's throne, he takes England's land. In the years following 1066, he conducts the Domesday Survey, the first systematic census of property, land, and livestock in English history, recorded in 1086. Every hide of land in England is assessed, catalogued, and attributed to a Norman landlord. The English aristocracy, those who survive, are stripped of their estates and replaced with Norman lords who speak French, pray in French, and conduct all official business in French. For the next 300 years, the official languages of England are Latin and French. English,
We work this ground.
the language of the defeated, is spoken in the fields, in the markets, in the homes of the working population, but not in the courts, not in the churches, not in the documents of power. And here is what that compression produces. When English finally re-emerges as the language of power in the 14th century, in the poetry of Geoffrey Chaucer, in the proceedings of Parliament, it is a completely different language from the one Harold's men spoke on Senlac Hill. It has absorbed thousands of French and Latin words. It has changed its grammar, its vocabulary, its sound. The English language you are hearing right now, every word of it, is the direct product of the Norman conquest. Words like army, justice, government, parliament, beef, pork, castle, prison, all French. The simple Anglo-Saxon words survive too: house, hand, water, love, death. But they exist alongside the French vocabulary in a combination that makes English the most lexically rich language on earth. Every word you speak is a consequence of what happened on this ridge on October 14th, 1066. The Normans also brought something else: stone castles. England before the conquest had almost no stone fortifications. Within 20 years of Hastings, the Norman lords had built hundreds of them, including the Tower of London, begun in 1078, which still stands on the north bank of the Thames today. You have probably seen photographs of it. You may have visited it. Every time you look at it, you are looking at the direct physical consequence of the battle you just witnessed, the last invasion of England, the last time a foreign army would successfully conquer the island. After 1066, no one would manage it again. You have just stood on Senlac Hill on the most consequential day in English history. 9 hours, 6,000 dead, one king with an arrow in his eye, and a language, your language, permanently altered by everything that followed. The ridge is a farm now. A village called Battle grew up around the site in the years after the conquest. William ordered an abbey built on the exact spot where Harold's body was found. Battle Abbey still stands. The high altar of its church was placed, deliberately, on the precise location where Harold died. You can visit it. You can stand on the exact spot. Thank you for coming back with us. If this took you somewhere you've never been, not just a place, but a moment, please subscribe. We go back every week, every battle, every disaster, every turning point that made the world you are standing in right now. Tell us in the comments, what moment in history do you want us to take you back to next? We read every single one. We'll see you in the next moment.